Matt Armstrong had already earned the respect of millions of viewers by rebuilding cars that many experts believed should never return to the road. Every new project seemed more difficult than the last, but Matt always approached each challenge with patience, careful planning, and a willingness to learn. That attitude became one of the biggest reasons for his success. Instead of claiming to know everything, he openly admitted when he faced a problem and invited viewers to watch him figure it out. This honest approach made his videos feel real and relatable, even when he was working on cars that most people could only dream of owning. Then came the project that changed everything, his crashed Bugatti Chiron. The Chiron was one of the most advanced and expensive hypercars ever built, and many people believed that rebuilding one outside Bugatti's own factory was impossible. The damage was serious, and finding replacement parts quickly became one of the biggest obstacles. Reports suggested that Bugatti was unwilling to supply certain parts needed for the rebuild, making the project even more difficult. Rather than giving up, Matt searched for other solutions. He worked with specialists, repaired components that many people would have replaced, and spent countless hours solving problems one by one. Every step of the journey attracted millions of views because audiences wanted to see whether an independent workshop could accomplish something that seemed out of reach. Against the expectations of many critics, the Chiron slowly came back to life. The completed rebuild proved that determination, knowledge, and creative problem-solving could sometimes overcome challenges that appeared impossible. At the same time, the project sparked a much bigger conversation throughout the automotive world. Many people began asking whether manufacturers should have complete control over repairs, or whether skilled independent mechanics should have greater access to official parts and technical information. Supporters of Bugatti argued that strict repair rules protected safety and preserved the value of these rare cars. Others believed that owners should have more freedom to decide where and how their vehicles were repaired, especially when official repair costs reached extraordinary levels. Whether people agreed with Bugatti or with Matt, one thing became clear. His Chiron rebuild had changed the discussion. It also created an interesting question. If another damaged Bugatti appeared, would the company respond differently, or would history repeat itself once again? Not long after the Chiron project captured the attention of car enthusiasts around the world, another unexpected opportunity appeared. This time, it involved the Bugatti Veyron with a story that was just as interesting. Unlike the Chiron, which had been badly damaged in an accident, this Veyron looked almost perfect from the outside. Its paint still shined. The body panels appeared to be in good condition. And at first glance, there was little to suggest that anything was seriously wrong. However, hidden beneath its beautiful appearance was a mechanical problem that had turned the car into a financial nightmare for its previous owner. According to the information that came with the vehicle, the gearbox had failed, and the estimated repair cost was somewhere between $300,000 and $350,000. For most people, hearing a number like that would end the conversation immediately. Spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a single repair sounded impossible to justify, even for someone who could afford an expensive hypercar. The owner reportedly chose not to move forward with the repair, and eventually the Veyron was taken back by a repossession company. For many buyers, it was simply a broken luxury car with a repair bill that made no financial sense. But Matt Armstrong saw something different. Instead of focusing only on the frightening estimate, he began asking questions. Was the gearbox really beyond repair? Had every possible solution already been explored? Or was there another way to bring the car back to life without spending a fortune? These questions matched the way Matt had approached many of his previous projects. Rather than accepting the first diagnosis, he preferred to investigate every detail for himself. That mindset had already helped him save several cars that others believed were finished forever. As the Veyron arrived at his workshop, excitement among his viewers grew quickly. Many remembered the challenges he had faced while rebuilding the Chiron and wondered whether this project would become even more difficult. At the same time, another question remained in everyone's mind. After everything that had happened before, would Bugatti finally be willing to support this rebuild by supplying official parts? Or would Matt once again have to find his own way to one of the most challenging automotive projects of his career? When the Bugatti Veyron finally arrived at Matt Armstrong's workshop, the excitement was easy to understand. Millions of people had followed his previous rebuilds, and many were eager to see whether this project would become another success or one of the few challenges that even he could not overcome. At first glance, the Veyron looked almost too good to be broken. Its body was clean, the paint still looked impressive, and there were no obvious signs of major damage. Someone seeing the car for the first time might have believed it only needed a simple service before returning to the road. But Matt knew that appearances could be misleading, especially with a vehicle as complex as a Bugatti. Modern hypercars contain advanced electronics, highly engineered transmissions, and systems that must work together perfectly. A problem hidden deep inside the drivetrain could create enormous repair costs, even if the outside of the car looked flawless. Before replacing expensive parts, Matt wanted to understand exactly what had gone wrong. He and his team began inspecting the vehicle carefully, checking every system and looking for clues that could explain the reported gearbox failure. Instead of assuming that the original repair estimate was correct, they approached the project with an open mind. This careful process had become one of the trademarks of Matt's channel. He believed that solving a problem started with asking the right questions, not with ordering the most expensive replacement parts. As the inspection continued, viewers watched every step with growing curiosity. Many hoped that the damage would turn out to be less serious than first reported, while others expected another long and difficult rebuild filled with unexpected setbacks. At the same time, Matt could not ignore another important issue that had followed him since the Chiron project. If the Veyron truly needed official Bugatti components, would the company now be willing to sell them? Early in the project, Matt shared his thoughts with viewers, explaining that he hoped things might be different this time. Because the Veyron was a different model, and the situation was not exactly the same as before, he believed there was a chance Bugatti might agree to supply the parts he needed. It was a hopeful moment, but no one yet knew whether that hope would turn into reality or lead to another difficult battle with one of the world's most exclusive car manufacturers. As the investigation continued, Matt and his team slowly began collecting more information about the Veyron's condition. Instead of rushing to remove the gearbox or order costly replacement parts, they carefully inspected every component connected to the transmission. Their experience had taught them that the first diagnosis is not always a correct one, especially on complex vehicles where one small fault can create symptoms that look much more serious than they really are. This patient approach is one of the reasons Matt's projects attract millions of viewers. Rather than chasing quick results, he focuses on understanding the real cause of the problem. During the inspection, every connector, sensor, fluid line, and mechanical part became important. Viewers watched as the team discussed different possibilities and considered whether the reported gearbox failure was truly as catastrophic as previous estimates had suggested. At the same time, another challenge remained in the background. Even if they identified the faulty parts, there was still the question of where those parts would come from. Because of Matt's earlier experience with the Chiron rebuild, many fans wondered whether Bugatti would once again refuse to provide official components. Matt openly admitted that he hoped this project would be different, since the Veyron had a different history and was not the same car involved in the earlier disagreement. He believed there might finally be an opportunity to work directly with the manufacturer. However, that optimism did not last forever. As discussions about sourcing parts moved forward, it became clear that getting official support would not be as simple as many people had hoped. Reports surrounding the project suggested that Bugatti was still very careful about supplying certain components outside its authorized repair network. From the company's point of view, this policy was designed to protect safety, maintain quality standards, and ensure that every repair met factory specifications. Supporters of Bugatti argued that a car capable of traveling at incredible speeds should only be repaired using approved methods. Matt, however, represented a different way of thinking. He believed that skilled independent mechanics should also have the opportunity to repair these cars responsibly, especially when official repair costs reached levels that many owners simply could not afford. This difference in philosophy became one of the biggest talking points of the entire project. The Veyron was no longer just another broken supercar waiting to be fixed. It had become the center of a much larger discussion about ownership, repair rights, and whether manufacturers should have complete control over the future of the vehicles they sell. The deeper Matt went into the Veyron project, the more it became clear that this rebuild was about much more than repairing a single gearbox. It highlighted a question that many car owners around the world have been asking for years. Once someone buys a vehicle, how much control should the manufacturer still have over its repair and maintenance? With ordinary cars, Owners often have the freedom to choose between official dealerships and trusted independent garages. They can compare prices, look for second opinions, and decide what works best for their budget. But the world of hypercars is very different. Companies like Bugatti have built their reputation on offering the highest levels of quality, safety, and performance. And they believe that strict repair procedures help protect both the driver and the brand's image. Because the Veyron is capable of reaching incredible speeds, every part must work exactly as designed. From Bugatti's point of view, even a small mistake during a repair could create serious safety risks. This is why the company has traditionally encouraged owners to rely on authorized service centers with factory-trained technicians and approved equipment. At the same time, many people see another side of the debate. They argue that once a customer spends millions of dollars buying a car, that customers should have the freedom to decide who repairs it. If a skilled independent workshop has the knowledge, experience, and proper tools to complete the work safely, supporters believe it should also have reasonable access to genuine replacement parts. Matt Armstrong's project has become a powerful example of this discussion because he has repeatedly shown that independent mechanics can solve problems that many people believed only factory technicians could handle. His videos have encouraged viewers to think differently about modern car repairs and have sparked conversations far beyond the automotive community. Even people who know very little about Bugatti have become interested because the story reflects a much larger issue affecting many industries today. Whether the product is a smartphone, a tractor, or a hypercar, the same question continues to appear. Who truly controls a product after it's been sold? By documenting every success, setback, and difficult decision throughout the Veyron rebuild, Matt transformed what could have been a simple repair project into a conversation about ownership, innovation, and the balance between protecting safety and giving customers greater freedom. In the end, the Bugatti Veyron project became far more than another popular series on YouTube. It showed millions of viewers what can happen when determination, patience, and creative thinking are used to solve problems that seem impossible at first. Throughout the rebuild, Matt Armstrong continued to approach each challenge with the same mindset that had made his channel so successful. Instead of being discouraged by huge repair estimates or limited access to official parts, he focused on understanding the car, finding practical solutions, and sharing every step of the journey with his audience. That honesty helped viewers feel like they were part of the project rather than simply watching it from a distance. At the same time, the story also reminded people that there are usually two sides to every debate. Bugatti's policies are based on protecting safety, maintaining quality, and ensuring that every vehicle performs as the engineers intended. Considering the incredible speed and complexity of a Veyron, those concerns are understandable. On the other hand, Matt's experience demonstrated that talented independent mechanics can also achieve impressive results when they have the necessary skills, proper equipment, and enough determination to keep learning. His work challenged long-held beliefs about what could and could not be repaired outside a manufacturer's official network. Whether someone agrees more with Bugatti's position or with Matt's approach, there is no doubt that the project started an important conversation that continues today. It encouraged people to think about repair costs, customer choice, access to replacement parts, and the future of vehicle ownership in an increasingly advanced automotive world. As technology continues to develop, these discussions are likely to become even more important, not only for hypercars, but for many other vehicles as well. Matt Armstrong's Veyron rebuild will be remembered not simply because it involved one of the world's most famous cars, but because it showed how curiosity, persistence, and a willingness to challenge accepted ideas can inspire change. For millions of viewers, the project was about much more than fixing a broken Bugatti. It became a story of determination, problem-solving, and a belief that with enough effort, even the most difficult challenges can sometimes be overcome. After the main rebuild story had been shared, the discussion surrounding Matt Armstrong and the Bugatti Veyron continued across YouTube, social media, and automotive forums. Car enthusiasts from different countries began sharing their own opinions about the project, and it quickly became clear that people viewed the situation in very different ways. Many viewers praised Matt for taking on a challenge that most workshops would never even consider. They admired his willingness to learn, his attention to detail, and his habit of showing both his successes and his mistakes instead of hiding the difficult moments. For these supporters, the Veyron rebuild was proof that independent mechanics could achieve remarkable results when given enough time, knowledge, and determination. Others, however, believed Bugatti's position was completely reasonable. They argued that a hypercar capable of traveling at extremely high speeds must meet strict safety standards, and even a small mistake during a repair could have serious consequences. From this point of view, limiting repairs to factory-trained technicians helped protect both owners and the reputation of the brand. The debate became larger than Matt Armstrong or Bugatti alone. It reflected an ongoing conversation about the future of vehicle ownership in a world where cars are becoming more advanced every year. Modern vehicles rely on complex electronics, specialized software, and highly engineered components that often require manufacturer support to diagnose and repair correctly. As a result, questions about access to genuine parts, repair information, and specialized tools have become increasingly important for independent workshops everywhere. Matt's Veyron project helped bring these issues into the public eye by presenting them through an exciting real-world story that millions of people could easily understand. Whether viewers watched because they loved supercars, enjoyed mechanical projects, or simply appreciated seeing difficult problems solved, the rebuild left a lasting impression. It demonstrated that passion and persistence can often challenge accepted ideas, while also reminding everyone that safety and quality remain essential when working on some of the world's most advanced automobiles. Years from now, people may remember this project not only as another successful YouTube rebuild, but also as an important chapter in the continuing discussion about innovation, ownership, and the changing relationship between manufacturers and independent mechanics. Looking back at the entire journey, one of the biggest reasons this story connected with so many people was that it was never just about a Bugatti Veyron. It was about solving